Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video, I want to chat about The Last Word, alright? And there's a ton of videos out there reviewing The Last Word, both on PC and on consoles, and everybody's got their opinions. But one of the more common things that I'm seeing right now is people hate how much The Last Word kicks on console, right? They're having a hard time controlling the recoil on The Last Word on console. And so I'm not going to argue the point that the gun is better on PC. That much is true. I'm not going to argue that. But I don't think it's as bad as people are making it seem on console. And I want to talk about why that is. This gun is, in my opinion, it is really, really good in quick play. And I get a lot of people, I'll defend the gun and they'll come in chat and they'll be like, yeah, but would you seriously use it in comp? If it's not good in comp, it can't outgun a Luna or Not Forgotten at range. And they use this as a measuring stick. And I'm over here like, but why would we want to measure the success of a weapon based on how it performs in a playlist no one plays? I queue up a comp match. It takes me 10 minutes to find a match. No one's playing comp. It's not a really great experience right now, in my opinion. And that's why no one's playing it. Why would I want to balance a weapon based on how it performs in an environment that no one plays? I would rather balance it based on how it performs in the environment that the overwhelming majority of the player base is playing in, quick play, right? And in quick play, I believe this is a very, very, very strong exotic weapon. And it's going to be hard for me to put it down, honestly, because it is performing so well. And yes, it's outgunning Lunas and Not Forgottens when I close the gap and I play to the strengths of this gun. And you might say, in watching some of the clips here in this video, TV, you're not even using The Last Word in this clip. Exactly. You're exactly right. Some of these I put in here on purpose because I have The Last Word in my loadout, and I'm not using it. Why? Because you have to know when to use it, how to use it. You're not going to use this weapon for all of your gunfights, obviously. You've got another weapon. You have to play to the strengths of the weapon. So, you got to learn how to close gaps. It's really not hard to do in Destiny. Destiny mobility is high, relative to other games. You can use vertical space in ways that other games don't allow you to use it. You can roll if you're a hunter. You can do all kinds of cool things. You can bait doorways, hang over them, etc. I mean, you've got great ways in Destiny of making sure that you are engaging with people in closer quarter combat. And there's tons of cover around the map to move to and from as well. So it's really not that difficult. Another thing is when you're engaged with someone at range, you got to prime them with your other weapon and then push them sometimes. If I get a body shot with my sniper, I don't just shrug my shoulders and say, oh, well, missed the headshot, better walk away so I don't get hated on for blinting. No, if I miss the headshot and hit a body, you better believe I'm going to throw a grenade to make them take cover, and I'm going to use that as an opportunity to bum rush them and take them out with my primary weapon, right? My Last Word. And it is so good for that. Another thing I would tell you is that when you're firing from the hip, don't full auto it unless they're like up in your grill and you really feel that sense of urgency. You really need to land a shot first and start getting stacks of that fanfire perk. So take your time, pace your shots, just go tap, tap, and then you can, once you get a couple of stacks of it, then just cut loose, you know what I'm saying? You'll see me do that a lot in this gameplay. And when you're ADSing with the thing, don't full auto it. Don't fire it at its 225 fire rate. Fire it at a 140 rate, tap, tap, tap. Let the recoil reset itself. A lot of players, they panic. They feel that sense of urgency, and just because the gun can fire fast, they feel like they need to, and you don't need to. I would rather take half as many shots and land twice as many than I would, like to take double the amount of shots and land half as many. You know what I'm saying? Make your shots count. And that's also going to save you, precious time you would have to reload the weapon if you miss, or you only get one kill with all 8 rounds and there's another guy there. Now you're just up the creek without a paddle because you got no rounds in your magazine and you got to reload the thing. So it's really important to make sure that you're pacing your shots. And I think people forget that it's okay for a weapon to have drawbacks, all right? It's okay that this thing can't map people on console. Sure, you're going to be doing it. It doesn't have more range on PC. It's just easier to hit those shots because of the recoil not being, much of an issue over there. But it's okay for it to have drawbacks on console. I know you might feel, oh man, I feel like I'm getting robbed. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes that encourages, more meaningful power of decision for the player. Their choice makes more of an impact on the way the game plays. So it's okay for things to be really good in one area and not so good in another. They don't have to be good at everything. Put TV, what about Luna and Not Forgotten? There's no scenario where they're not good. And you know what? I would agree with you on that. And that's going to take me into another topic I could do a whole video on. But I'm just going to give you guys a hot take right here. It might ruffle some feathers. You know, I worked for my Luna and my Not Forgotten. I did the grind. I put in the time. I got my wins. And I did all the things I needed to do to get those things. I think that they are phenomenal weapons. I think that they were really creative. I think they executed them well. They are incredible. They are powerful. And here's the but. But I don't think they belong in the game. And I might ruffle some feathers with that. I know people will disagree with me on that, but I always approach it thinking from the perspective of the common gamer who just fires up the console. They want to play some Destiny. Are they having fun? And I think for the common gamer, I think that the existence of Luna/Not Forgotten is harmful to the environment. I really think it is. I think it pushes people away more than it draws them in. And powerful rewards should be incentive for players to want to play. And I feel like Luna and Not Forgotten have done the opposite. They've made players want to stay away from the Crucible. And I think that that's not good for the environment. It's not good for the player base. So I think that they shouldn't be, at least the way they are right now, they shouldn't be in the game. And that's my hot take. And, you know, I think if it was up to me, I'd take them out of the game, but I would buff hand cannons across the board. Alternatively, you know, right now hand cannons aren't that strong. The only ones that are really, in my opinion, that useful regularly are like 110s. And that's when they're used in conjunction with really other, you know, strong other weapons that supplement them, that play well with them, like bows, etc. So that's my hot take on that. I would make sure that if it was up to me, hand cannons would sort of have this this ratio, range to recoil ratio that would go up and down on either side, almost like a seesaw, so that the 110s would have the greatest range, right? They'd be able to do their maximum damage at a longer distance than any other archetype of hand cannon, but the trade-off is that your recoil is greater, right? So you really got to pace your shots and make them count. You know, and then you go to like 140s, and the 140s would be balanced across the board. The recoil wouldn't be too bad, sort of a moderate amount of recoil, so you can control it if you want to, and you can fire a little bit faster than a 110, but not quite at the range of 110 can. And then you just kind of keep going with that pattern. You go to 150s. In my opinion, 150s right now, they're just dumb. They're just stupid. They should not have that much recoil because no one's going to use them. No one uses them right now. There's no benefit to them. It's a lose-lose. But there's got to be some give and take here, in my opinion. Bring the range of 150s in closer than 140s can. Make them not as effective at range as 140s are, but give them less recoil than 140s. And make them much more manageable to hit successive shots. And then 180s would be the bottom end of the spectrum, where they've got like no recoil. They're so easy to shoot right now. They really are, and that's why they're the meta. But then the trade-off would be they just can't keep up with a 140 at range. There's no way. They just can't put out that much damage unless you really outgun the guy or he makes a mistake. You know what I mean? And so that would be sort of the give and take with hand cannons that I would like to see. So anyways, those are some of my thoughts. I think that the last word right now is super strong, and everyone's comparing it to Luna and Not Forgotten, and I think that that's a bit of an unfair comparison. And those are some of the reasons why I think so. So feel free to let me know what you think. I'm going to try and cut this commentary short because I don't want it to go to 10 minutes. I try to respect y'all's time, so I don't want to drag it out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I'm genuinely interested to know. And again, it's okay to have conversation without insulting each other's opinions. Opinions are not necessarily inherently wrong all the time. It's okay for someone to disagree with you, and you don't have to be a tool about it. So let's have some good conversation about it. Thanks so much, guys. Hope to catch you in the Crucible.